Okay, so now, today's January 27th. Yesterday, Ye issued an apology to Jewish and black people in the Wall Street Journal. He apologized for years of anti-Semitic comments and behavior that drew widespread condemnation. He said he lost touch with reality and his past actions were harmful. He said, I'm not a Nazi or an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. And he said that a lot of his behavior was due to bipolar type 1, which when diagnosed, which was based on the 2002 car accident, which wasn't properly diagnosed until 2023. He said there was a 4-month manic episode in early 2025 where he experienced psychotic, paranoid, and impulsive behavior. Do you know what he's talking about exactly? What exactly is he talking about?
I don't want to speak about his health.
Okay, but you were there when that happened?
That manic episode, that was when I was in Spain.
Got it. Okay, got it. That was the Spain thing. Right. He took responsibility for specific controversial actions, including use of Nazi imagery and swastika-themed merchandise. Because at one point he started selling swastika t-shirts on Shopify.
Swastika was a symbol of peace before the Nazis. It's been a historical symbol.
I know, in India, right?
Yeah. So it's like the symbol now, it was hijacked by the Nazis. Now you're not allowed to depict it anywhere. It's a symbol originally for peace.
I understand that, but I think that the Nazi version has completely eclipsed the original version. He apologized for praising or amplifying extremist rhetoric and widespread offensive public statements that caused hurt, particularly to Jewish and black communities. How did you feel about the whole slavery is a choice and everything else like that?
Slavery is a choice.
You think?
This is a perfect example. I think, for example, Andrew Tate had the opportunity to choose slavery or choose freedom, and him apologizing for the song is eating the steak, is choosing to be a slave, because it's not wrong to listen to a song. It's not incorrect to enjoy music that you think is good.
Right. I'm not talking about...
That's a form of slavery.
I understand a general version of slavery, but the specific slavery that was happening in America, I don't think was a choice.
My dad's from Haiti, right?
Right.
No, the specific slavery, as he said, it was happening in America. Mostly, for the most part, was not a choice. People of that time, as everyone already knows the story, people were forcefully taken and driven into slavery. People from all over Africa and other countries, neighboring countries, they were all forced, taken into slavery and made slaves, had to become slaves. In this day and age, slavery is not forced upon anybody. You do have a choice whether you want to be controlled or not, but in that time, that specific time frame, slavery was forced upon individuals. Nobody chose to become a slave. It was something that they had no choice in.
That was the first country to protest again, to actually overthrow the slave masters.
I come from a nation that rebelled against slavery.
Right.
They killed the slave masters. They freed themselves.
Yes.
They decided that this was a choice, that they could band together and they can get rid of their slave masters and they can be free. Obviously, you can debate now whether they are free. You could say that the French banks still control them, the United States still controls them. But at the time, Haitians decided this is a choice. So I agree.
I think that's like saying being in prison is a choice. Yes, you could revolt against the prison guards and the warden, but you'll probably die in the process. And I think to put your own life on the line and assume more likely than not that you're going to die, and if you don't actually succeed, you will be tortured intensely, I don't think you could say that's just a choice, as opposed to, am I going to get Coke or Pepsi today? I think that's the problem with that statement.
I have the utmost respect, and I think the Muslim world, we all see the resistance fighters in Palestine, and it strengthens our faith if you analyze it properly, because they're also deciding that slavery is not a choice. That slavery is a choice. They are seeing that they're in an open-air prison, they're controlled, there's an oppressor, they're being genocided, and they decide to fight back regardless. They decide that they refuse to go out as a slave and fight the people who are trying to wipe them out. They've also decided that this is a choice. And so even though this is a losing battle, even though that Israel will win, most likely, you still don't go out within their control. You go out on your own terms.
You're talking about a whole country of people?
No, not,
They
I'm
can
talking about the
communicate.
resistance fighters. Like Yahya Sinwar.
No, but you're talking about a group of people from an entire country that communicate with each other, that have support from other countries like Iran and so forth, that could actually band together, who have access to weapons, who have access to missiles, who have access to all types of guns and so forth, as opposed to a plantation with a dozen slaves who can't read, can't write, are isolated from their own culture. Because at least the Palestinians know who they are, right?
Well, I mean, they are trying to change. Even the word anti-Semitism is ridiculous. Like, you're Ashkenazi, correct?
Right.
You're not Semitic. So they say, this song is anti-Semitic. Wait, who are the real Semites? It's the Palestinians. This is why DNA tests are not allowed in Israel, because you find out these people are not. These people are not indigenous to the Middle East at all.
I actually have Middle Eastern blood. Like I actually
sure,
took
a lot
DNA
of
test.
some do.
I have like a large chunk of me is Bedouin, so I actually.
But you understand that most Israeli people like Benjamin Netanyahu are ethnically from Poland or Ukraine.
Right.
These people are not Semitic, and so now they're even trying to change. They're trying the same mind control that they tried on the slaves.
I got it.
And to forget where you're really from. The real Semites are the Palestinians. The word anti-Semitic doesn't make sense. The reason they say anti-Semitic and not anti-Jewish is another form of slave. If they said anti-Jewish, then people would look into it. Anti-Semitic is to reinforce that the homeland is Israel.
Listen, the whole concept of who's a Jew and who's not a Jew, and you're only a Jew if your mother is a Jew and not your father. A lot of this stuff is stupid. A lot of this stuff is silly.
Well, that's your religion.
I don't agree with it, and I'm Jewish myself.
Then you don't agree with Judaism.
I don't agree with certain parts of Judaism, but at the end of the day,
I agree with everything in Islam.
Okay, and I respect you for it.
Thank you.
I respect.